Hello, welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor, CropLife and CropLife Iron, here again with Lara Sowinski. Lara, how you doing?
Well, thank you. How about you?
I am doing fine. It is a rainy fall day in Ohio and cold. That's why I got the long sleeves on now. Broke out the long sleeve shirts over the weekend and I think I'll be using them the rest of the year. So
No more 80 degrees in November.
I suspect those days are in our past and will not pop up again until the calendar switches over to 2025. So,
Yeah, or let's hope not.
yeah. So, hey, speaking of
Yes.
fall, of course, this is that time of year when CropLife magazine readers are getting ready to dive into the annual CropLife 100 report.
Hmm.
I know we put that together, and that report will appear in our December edition. But the early reviews on that can be seen on our website starting on December 1st. But I did want to mention one item regarding a CropLife 100 retailer, and that is the Andersons of Maumee, Ohio. They, of course, are a longtime member of the CropLife 100, and we found out last week that the Andersons has acquired majority ownership in a company called Skyland Grain out of Ulysses, Kansas. So this transaction enables the Andersons to expand its core grain and fertilizer businesses into new states, including Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Texas. So, according to their CEO, Bill Kruger, CEO and president of the Andersons, says that with Skyland becoming part of the Andersons, we are confident that we are now well positioned to capitalize on significant opportunities in this region, which boasts the fastest growing feed demand in the country. So again, the CropLife 100 retailer, this won't be reflected in the survey data that I was reporting on in our December issue,
Mhm.
but look for the Andersons to make a little bit of a jump up the listings in the 2025 CropLife 100 because of this acquisition. So
Yeah, for sure. That's great. Congratulations. Yeah.
yeah. So, hey, I guess one other thing, of course, we've been following through several videos over the past year or so, or of course, our friends, the Longshoremen, and their contract negotiations. And I guess, according to what you said before we got on air here, you have an update on that. So please enlighten our viewers.
It was funny because I've kind of been thinking, January 15th is right around the corner. This was the date that both sides, the International Longshoremen's Association, representing East Coast and Gulf Coast longshoremen and waterfront employers, they kind of walked out for a day or two there. Everyone got back together. Okay, we'll extend contract negotiations until January 15th and hadn't heard anything. And lo and behold, Wall Street Journal's logistics report said that the two sides reconvened this week of November 11th, and they right after they got together, talks broke down immediately. The ILA is insisting that any deal must include a firewall against new or expanded automation on the dock. So, again,
Mm.
the number one sticking point between the two sides. Nonetheless, the initial conversations weren't entirely grim. According to Wall Street Journal, the employers group said that there was, quote, progress on a number of issues, but there's no sign that the sides are ready to even bargain over automation at this point. Technology impasse has grown since an interim agreement last month to raise dock worker pay by 62% over 6 years. The shipping lines and terminal owners at East Coast and Gulf Coast ports are hoping to make up some of the higher labor costs from that deal through productivity, including expanded automation. Um, the Wall Street Journal concludes, mentioning that a change in presidential administration will take effect January 20, and shipping industry officials see the new Trump administration as more sympathetic to maritime employers than the Biden administration has been. So, um, Yeah. Gosh, what the drama continues. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. What are they saying in Las Vegas? What, where do we stand? Where, yes or no?
Well,
How much to wager?
and you got to wonder too. I mean, again, I know they're going to be negotiating through January 15th, obviously, but this is that time of year where the holidays start rolling around, and a lot of people, take time off from their jobs and what they're doing to spend time with family and friends in different parts of the country, not necessarily sitting at a negotiating table. So you would hope that something will get done while folks are in the holiday spirit and everybody will be feeling festive, and maybe they'll come to some agreement. But yeah, automation. Yeah, I know we've talked about how much of a sticking point that's going to be, but it's the world we live in. We see automation all the time. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
wondering in 10 years if Chat GTP is going to be doing a retail week with our avatars. And that's not going to be you and me. It's just going to be visions of us, perhaps. So, God,
Yeah,
I
I'm,
hope
I'm not
not.
here this morning. This is my stand-in.
This is you're an avatar now. All right, nice to know. All right. Well, fingers crossed that the longshoremen and their employers will get something done before January 15th rolls around, and then
I
we
hope
can
so.
all start focusing on other issues.
That's right. Like the
Yeah.
other unresolved things that
Yeah,
are
God
hanging
knows
over
there's
our
other
head.
unresolved things out there. So, but hey, speaking of
Yes.
automation, since you did mention it, I did run across a report. Friends at Straits Research,
Mm-hmm.
they put out a report where they were talking about basically ag technology, and their read on the market is that the agricultural drones and robots market will surpass $100 billion by the end of this decade.
Oh,
They basically say that most of the drones and robots will be used to aid in crop monitoring, pesticide and herbicide application, fertilization, and harvesting. And that, like I say, $102.15 billion market by 2033. So again, whether or not automation is coming. Bottom line, it's going to be a big part of agriculture going forward, and we will have to follow this as ag drones become more prevalent. I know I've seen more of them in the fields this year,
mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
suspect in 25 we'll continue to see them. So.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It remains a bright spot for sure. Not only what they can do, but certainly the capacity, payload, battery life. It's great. It's really cool. I've been enjoying watching drone technology evolve over the past year or so. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, no, like I say, it'll be fun. Again, the winter trade shows are just around the corner, starting in
Mhm.
January, and it'll be interesting to see how many drones I see on display. And when I get to the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville in mid-February, how many drones? I mean, there were several drones on the floor of the exhibit center in Louisville last year, and I
Mhm.
imagine that the space for those will be even more prominent this upcoming year. So we'll have to watch. But again, viewers, stay tuned for CropLife Retail Week. Synopses mid-February. We'll probably have lots of pictures of those drones and talk about what we've seen. So.
That's cool.
All right. Well, Miss Laura, as we end the program this week, then let us play your favorite game. Time for Fun with Numbers.
Who said it was my favorite game?
Well, you always seem
I
to
like
smile at
Monopoly.
the end of it. Maybe that's because of answer D, but who knows?
That's true.
You did get them right about half the time, I think. So.
Okay, what do you have?
All
Another.
right. Well, I got an odd one for you, and it's a pair of numbers, not
Okay,
dollar amounts, not percentages. So your numbers this week: under 15 and over 65.
under 15 and over 65.
Correct.
Alrighty.
So is under 15 and over 65. Is that A, the average ages of today's rural county working populations? Is it B, the average ages of ag retail facilities in 2024? Is it C, the average ages of U.S. growers in 2024? Or is it D, my average blood sugar variations watching political ads during the 2024 election cycle?
Oh my goodness. Give me A again, rural, what was that?
The average ages of today's rural county working populations.
Okay. Oh boy, I'm gonna go with C, the growers.
No.
Or
Your first inclination was correct. The correct answer is A, yes. This came from the U.S. Department of Agriculture Economic Research Service, and they said that rural county populations, they've found a striking, the big striking finding is in the population dynamic going on in these counties. And they say that between 2010 and 2020, that the spectrum of workers has now gone to either younger or older, with much in the middle. The average age are either young children under 15 years of age or older adults, 65 years and older, that make up the majority of the working populations in the rural counties of the country. I know. So again, and their report mentions the fact that automation may be a way to fill the gap that you're seeing between young and old. So but yeah, the average age of U.S. growers, it's around 59, 60 years old. So there's no under 15 for that. That's a little too young for folks to be farming. So
well, I figure they can, put a pillow on the tractor seat and, just go.
oh my goodness, the visions of all those 5-year-olds riding in the combines, harvesting corn and soybeans. Boy, yeah, all right. So yeah, viewers, if you have some of those pictures, send them to Laura and myself. We'd love to see them. But in the meantime, yes, that is my fun with numbers to share. Sorry, Miss Laura, I guess you'll have to, better luck next week, I guess I'll say.
All right. Okay.
And I see your dog Lucky has come to join you there, and I saw wagging tails in the background. So
yeah, she heard that fun with numbers, and she was like, "I got to get in on this action because."
Well, I suspect she's under 15. She's the under 15 group, right? Yeah.
She is. She's 3.
yeah. That's just definitely under 15. So. All righty. Well, viewers, thanks for joining us for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. We hope you enjoyed the information we had to share. And Miss Laura and I will again look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.